Hello everyone! Today I am going to create a video walking through scored interval IOA, unscored interval, and the interval by interval method. This is an assignment that you will have as one of the learning activities that students often struggle with, and so I want to give you a few tips beyond the video that's already created where we actually walk through some data sets. So first we're going to talk about scored interval IOA. When you are doing your actual assignment, make sure that you are printing out all of the pages. I think that your data set is much longer and it might go on to 2, maybe 3 pages. And the reason why I have a larger data set for the assignment is because it's more consistent with the types of data sets that you will be using as a BCBA. For today's purposes, I did a very short 2-minute observation, and I want you to keep in mind that you will never ever do a 2-minute observation. In this data sheet, these are different intervals, and each of them are 10-second intervals. So this is 10 seconds, 20, 30. This is through the first minute, and here we start the second minute of the observation. For this observation, pluses mean that the behavior was recorded as occurring, and minuses mean that it did not occur. So let's talk about the scored interval IOA. The first thing that you have to know for scored interval IOA is the formula. So the formula for scored interval IOA is the number of agreements over the number of scored intervals, and then you need to make it into a percentage, so you're going to multiply it by 100. Okay. So the first thing that we have to do is figure out this information over here, which is the scored intervals. Okay, so what I like to do is to go ahead and highlight. Now, a scored interval is any instance in which one or both of the observers recorded that the behavior occurred. You only need to count it once. So if Kim and Zena both agreed that the behavior occurred, that would go into the agreements. But for the denominator, you just need it once. So here, Kim and Zena said yes, so we're going to mark this one to go in our denominator. Here, Kim said that the behavior occurred, but Zena said that it didn't. Zena said that it occurred here. Kim said it occurred here, as did Zena, so ultimately that will go into the agreement. Kim didn't say anything here, but Zena did. And then Kim said yes here. Now what you're going to do is you are going to count up the number of highlights that you have here. These are the scored intervals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't mean to do that nice whole number, but it works out nice when that happens, right? So we're going to divide our agreements by number 10. Okay, so now we have to go back and look at how many intervals there are agreements. So right here, Kim and Zena both agreed that the behavior occurred. Okay, here's a disagreement, another disagreement, another disagreement. We have 2 agreements here. We have a disagreement and we have a disagreement. So in total, there are 3 agreements. So basically what we do then is you take 3 divided by 10 and you're going to multiply it by 100 and you wind up with 30%. So your IOA using scored interval IOA for this data set is 30%. Excuse me, we are home in Casa de Martel feeling a little under the weather today, so I'm just hoping to get through this video and show you how to do it. And I've made it, I don't know, like 6 times, so you're just going to get the random sound effects in this one. So now we're going to do unscored interval. So unscored interval, the formula is the number of agreements over the number of unscored intervals times 100. And an unscored interval is when one or both of the observers reported that the behavior did not occur. So just like we did in scored interval, we're going to go through and we are going to highlight. And remember, you only need to highlight one if both stated that the behavior didn't occur. Okay. let's go back. I did that one quickly. So we have the behavior, target behavior didn't occur, didn't occur, didn't occur, didn't. And it looks good. So now we're going to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our unscored intervals are 9. Oh, I don't know what this bold and underline is. And now let's count the agreements. So this is a disagreement, a disagreement, a disagreement, a disagreement. Oh, look at this. We have an agreement. Okay. Disagreement, 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 and an agreement. Okay. So then our agreements are 2 over the unscored intervals, which is 9. So you divide 2 divided by 9, and you get 0.22. Multiply that by 100 to wind up with 22.2% IOA. Okay. Easy peasy, right? Now let's go on to the interval by interval method. So in order to do this one, we're going to look at the number of agreements over the number of agreements plus disagreements. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to count the number of intervals, which is essentially the agreements over and disagreements. So each interval, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, let's go blue. So we're going to have to find out how many times they agree, divided by 12 times 100. So now let's see if there are agreements. So an agreement is when they both recorded that the behavior occurred or they both recorded that the behavior didn't occur. So there's an agreement. These are different, so this is a disagreement, disagreement, disagreement. We have another disagreement right here. But look, we have a couple of agreements right there. And then we have an agreement. So they both said in this one that the behavior didn't occur. Disagreement, 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 and an agreement. Okay, so now we're going to count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 divided by 12 is 41.6 times 100 equals 41.66%. I hope that you found this video helpful. Let your instructor know if you have any questions. Thanks.